Radio. Yeah, you already know. Talk Riff Radio. It's time to start the show.
Do you remember when all iPhones just happened to have U2 embedded?
I do. That was really wild when that happened, because I didn't actually listen to them ever before, and I felt like I got cornered into something that I didn't want.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
I did listen to them. I had multiple albums of theirs, and I still felt violated. So,
yeah. It's like, how dare you preload the thing that I bought from you guys with music that I would not have downloaded myself unless I wanted to. And it definitely did seem a little strange. The album cover itself was a little strange too. But tell me, why is that in the news?
it happened exactly 11 years ago. Today is when that iPhone released with that preloaded album on there.
Did you keep it on your phone or did you delete it?
I think I got rid of it almost immediately. Like, I didn't even think about it. And then other people had all the outrage. And then I was like, oh yeah, I guess. Didn't everyone just delete it? It was deletable, right? This was so long ago, 11 years ago. It was a long time for me.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I definitely deleted it. I also had something called, it must have been around the same time. So I had something called Pandora Jam. Did you ever use that?
No. I had Pandora, but that was
Pandora
after, I think. That's a later product.
Pandora Jam was Pandora, but it had this loophole at the time for this app in particular to get away with. Basically, it was Pandora was radio streaming, so service. So back when we used to have radio, you could record the radio,
for sure,
and put it on a cassette tape. So this app actually would record Pandora, and everything got saved onto your computer with the album cover and all title.
The metadata. Yeah.
All the metadata was there, and it wouldn't record the commercial breaks.
Wow.
So I ended up building a massive library, like, through a legal way, without having to go on like BitTorrent or whatever.
As long as you're not sharing it, it's not illegal. Yeah, they never nobody ever got in trouble for recording. I used to record to a cassette off of a little Sony boombox back when I was a little kid. Nobody ever said anything about that. That was part of music culture back then, was making mixtapes off the radio.
Exactly. So this was just an internet radio station that I was recording.
Yeah.
And it was getting all the metadata with it. So I was pretty upset when I discovered U2 on my phone.
Because did it just pop up when you were listening to your playlist? Oh no.
But I had and the coolest part about Pandora Jam was that you just like Pandora, you set your, who you wanted to listen to, and then it would play all sorts of new stuff that you'd never think to search on your own. So it was super cool. I got exposed to so much stuff, and then I think around 2000, maybe 14 or so, I think the law caught up with them and shut them down.
Yeah, that'll happen. But now, I mean, music is essentially free again, so they couldn't fight it. They won the battle but lost the war. So.
That's true. I mean, speaking of the law catching up with you, there was an interesting headline about this British girl who was in Dubai. Did you see anything about that?
I mean, I read a little bit about it. It was they definitely, the article that I read went heavy into her social media posts and just posted a bunch of pictures of her as clickbait. But yeah, it is really interesting. That
What's her social media like?
she's a very attractive young lady. Yeah.
Okay, but it wasn't like scandalous as far as with drug use or anything,
No,
right?
no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she got busted for having cocaine in Dubai.
Yeah, life in prison.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I mean, it goes to show that nothing's for free. You know, you can't go to Dubai and pretend like you're gonna get away with just anything that you would get away with back in your homeland, your country of origin. So, respect for those listeners out there. You know, respect the laws that are governing the state at which you are going to live in. I mean,
Yeah.
don't fuck around and find out like her.
No, yeah. Where you are is definitely important. Borders exist. Different places have different laws. And then also 50 grams of cocaine, which is how much she got caught with. Anywhere. I mean, there might be a few places where the laws don't really exist that you could get away with that, but that's just too much drugs to try and get away
I
with.
mean, it would seem like she was a dealer. It would seem like that doesn't seem like a personal use situation. It also just seems like way too much for a small, like model of her stature, to like, what is that? A 10-year supply, like a 5-year supply or something? Like how?
I mean, no. If you had a good habit,
probably
it
not.
would be a month and a little bit, maybe. If you were doing a gram a day, which is like a strong habit for sure. That's a heavy habit, but that's not crazy. Especially if you're like using it as like a meal substitute, which people do. So.
I mean, you could do coffee for that though, right?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, just not do anything and have a better life for sure.
I mean, Dubai has excellent coffee that would help with meal a suppressant for a meal.
That's true.
They have like that strong black coffee.
I like that stuff. Have you seen? I mean, you've been to the Middle East more than I have by many times.
Yeah, I have.
But is it sand? The Turkish coffee, is that they do it in sand, and the sand gets super hot?
Okay, yeah, that's something else. I think that the Turkish coffee, like, or probably it starts with like somebody from like a Bedouin tribe or something. But what they do is it's almost like a street food. I've seen it before on like Instagram.
Okay, gotcha.
Like
I didn't know how common it was.
I haven't seen that in real. No, it's not common. That's like it's like they have like a pot of, or like a little cart of sand that's like heated up almost like a grill or a barbecue, and then they stick the coffee pot inside of that sand, I guess, and they heat the coffee that way. No, I've never experienced that. Typically, it's just what they do differently with Turkish coffee in general is that they put the grains just in the boiling water in the kettle, and they basically lightly stir it.
Yeah.
And let that keep going up to the surface, like the grains keep going up to the surface
As the water boils,
and then
right? They're carried up. Yeah.
Yep. And then they turn the fire off, and how they serve it is like all that grain, coffee grounds, is actually at the bottom of this pot, and so they slowly tip the, however much like of a jolt you want is how fast you would pour it, because the faster you pour it, the more grains grounds come out. Yeah. So
I like it. I like the idea. I know you like coffee a lot. I think we call it like cowboy coffee. Would be the style in the United States of boiling the grounds with the water with no filtration.
And what states would that be?
Anywhere, all of them.
Oh,
I think it's
okay.
like a camping thing too. I think that's where it still survives in the modern day. Is
Nice.
you get the little flask bottom pot that's like shaped like a kidney bean kinda, and you just put coffee in there. Instant coffee obviously kind of got rid of the need for that as much, but instant coffee is like I think our parents' generation. It's not that old. Freeze dried, right? So it's pretty modern tech.
Folgers sponsor us.
Hell yeah. The best part of waking up.
It is.
That's such a great slogan.
Or it was, at least in the 90s.
I mean, there's an argument that it could still be if that's.
I think Nespresso or what is it? Nescafe took over though, because they have like the little packets in the rest of the world at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Folgers is like, it definitely had its peak.
The little red, red tub. You a spoon.
I think peak was circa like 98, 99, probably, maybe even 97.
There's some,
and then it was a slow downhill from there.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see where Folgers is right now as far as the market share of coffee. They're all owned by one company probably, so finding out who's doing the best is going to be tricky. But there are some really good instant coffees now because they're introducing a lot of mushroom supplemented coffees, instant coffees, like lion's mane and ashwagandha and stuff like that you can get as a little instant coffee stick packet.
Yeah. Do you think that would does that fry the cordyceps and does that actually fry when you heat them up so much? Do you think you still get the benefits from the mushrooms?
I don't know. I've heated up mushrooms before, and I don't know if
on a pizza,
well, that way, but also in other ways, just mushrooms by themselves. And they still are effective, but I don't know if the stuff that I was trying to get out of heating mushrooms is the same transmission method as the good stuff that you want to get out of like a lion's mane mushroom. So I mean, you probably mushrooms are crazy, man. They're like these crazy, like almost single cell living, closer to animals than plants. And yeah, I mean,
was it Terrence McKenna that said that they are the only life form that's able to travel through space? So someone hypothesized that they actually are interplanetary, and that as a asteroid strikes one planet or a meteor skips off a planet, like they could have, the spores themselves are able to travel through space.
1000%. They're so different than everything else. They're ones that glow in the dark. There's, and they also are like in some of the best mental medicine naturally. Is pretty insane also. Like we have evolved to benefit from them. So they've been here forever, and we've used them throughout history to help us deal with our brains.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that that is amazing. So just looking up real fast, U.S. packaged coffee market share by retail sales in 2023, 2024. This is the estimate. Folgers is number one.
Hell yeah.
With 24 to 26% estimated share of the market.
Yeah, they're crushing it.
Then Dunkin', 11 to 13%. Then Starbucks. Then Pete's, then private labels. Wow.
Folgers is crushing Starbucks, huh? I mean, I guess that makes sense looking at the store shelves.
Incredible.
Especially,
good for
I wonder
them.
how much of the pods how much of that coffee and where does it come from? It probably comes from companies like Folgers that have the capacity to produce a surplus of coffee that they can sell it to other brands.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Oh, it's the JM Smucker company.
Who owns them? Smuckers is
That's Folgers.
yeah.
That's Folgers.
Smuckers, man. Dude, they're out of they were just Jam for a while, and now they're running the world.
Did they do the peanut butter with the jelly in the like
Yeah.
it's
The stripes.
in the same jar?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I never got that as a kid, but I remember seeing it and
Me
wanting
neither.
it so bad. That's like, there was a time in my life that if you had asked me, what's one thing that you can get at the store, and your mom can't say anything about it, that would have been on the list for maybe a year or two, or more.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was crazy. You remember the little time period with Heinz that they tried to do purple and green
Yeah,
ketchups?
I do remember that. Yeah, for sure.
And they tasted differently.
Did they?
Did you taste them? I don't know.
either.
I think it was a subliminal or subconscious. They tasted differently.
Another thing that I didn't get as a kid. We were mostly just like basic store brand, which I appreciate now because I have to do the same stuff. I do want the fancy stuff, like the name brand all the time though. I don't know.
Gushers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there an off-label Gusher?
Oh, 100%. There's off-label everything, man.
What about fruit by
Do
the
you ever
foot?
shop at Aldi?
No.
It's all, I mean, they have everything except it's all off-label.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
They have like the Colonel, like Captain Crunch, but it's a
Yeah.
it's with like a bird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called like Admiral Crispies or something like that.
That's awesome, man.
Uh,
What about the what were those what was the elves with the cookies? Keebler.
Those are good. It's good stuff.
What's the off-market brand of Keebler elf?
Well, shout out to Aldi sponsors. The Aldi bakery brand, like all the baked goods, is a company called Millville, or that's the brand is Millville.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are they owned by Kirkland?
No, but Kirkland's crushing it too. I love Kirkland stuff.
Yeah.
Kirkland's makes some good stuff. Sponsor us.
I wish I could invest in. Yeah, I wish I could invest in them. I think they're a private company, but like, yeah, that's a good brand.
Hell yeah.
Did you hear about how Kirkland, like, and maybe this is just a tall tale, but they bought a vodka, or like, no, they bought a spring, or rights to a spring for water that's right next to where Grey Goose is made.
Yeah.
And that's why like their Kirkland vodka has such like similarities to the Grey Goose brand, is like they're actually pulling out the same water.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's very possible. I mean, a lot of their stuff is surplus stuff too. So, and these giant companies only bottle so much of what they're anything. I mean, any products. So they're never going to make too little, right? And they're never going to make the perfect amount. So they always make a little bit too much, and then a company like Kirkland comes in and says, "We'll buy all of this at a huge discount. We have the capabilities of buying 10,000 gallons of vodka." And these companies are like, "We're just sitting on it. Sell it. Just made a little bit too much." And then you end up getting Crown Royal in the Canadian whiskey bottle, or Tide soap in the Kirkland laundry detergent, and things like that.
Awesome, man. Good for them.
And they pass the savings along to me. Costco is my favorite store, by the way. I don't know if you have a favorite. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. My favorite store, Trader
Yep,
Joe's.
high on my list too, for sure.
Trader Joe's and Target.
Target's low on my list.
Really?
Yeah, we have something called Meyer here, which you may have been to through your travels at some point.
No. It's like Target?
No, it's actually probably closer to Walmart, but just a smaller company. Like, it's a nicer experience than going to the Walmart. A funny, interesting story about Meyer is that when Meyer was big, they've been big in the Midwest since, I don't know, pre-war maybe. It's kind of been the Midwest.
Which war?
The Second World War.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They and I could look, but in Walmart was coming out and coming up, they offered to buy Meyer and all of their locations and the rights essentially to be the Superstore in a town. That's what you're doing, is you're just putting the other company out of business by buying them out. And Meyer said no. So Walmart said, okay, you can say no, but we're going to build a Walmart across the street from every single Meyer until you guys go out of business. And this was probably back, I'm guessing, in like the 80s or 90s or something like that. And now here in Michigan, if there's a Meyer, there's a Walmart, at least a square mile from that Meyer. Meyer's just competing with them and they're crushing it, man.
They're surviving to this day though, so they never went down. They never went under because
they
of that.
just made their store better. It's just a nicer, better experience all around. Customer service is better and everything's just more organized. I really like it. Meyer's high on my list also.
They have those little carts available for the people that can't walk.
They have a number of those, usually like probably between 6 and 8 per store. They have 2 different size carts, so you can get the big traditional cart or you can get a smaller like sports car coupe cart that you can whip around real quick. Because you don't.
Do all four wheels move, or is it just the front two that spin in the back or
just the front two? If the back ones move too, that would be wild. I mean,
they do that. They do that in some stores.
Yeah. It's like a European model where it has almost like the basket size on the top and then the X legs, and they go down. Yeah, for sure. But no,
and it's really hard to steer. Like you're always like using your side muscles,
engaging the core.
Like, you have to. It's nuts.
Especially
that's why they're so fit over
when it
there.
gets heavy. When you put like 4 gallons of milk in that bad boy, or like
trying to take
some road salt. You got some bags of road salt on that thing. Like fighting the G's. You're having.
Everybody's just red in the face, just like blue,
sweating.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. No, but I do drift those rear wheel drive carts pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
That produce section is like a racetrack.
Do you still drive it to the car, and like if there's a little bit of a downhill, you get up on the back?
No, I don't. There's no downhills.
I do it every once in a while.
Everything's pretty flat.
Brings me back to my childhood.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to. I guess I could get up going a little bit, like run a little bit, and then hop on the back.
Just get somebody to pull you.
Yeah, I'd probably just indo because I wouldn't have enough weight in the cart, and just fucking slam my ass.
Get a couple of gallons of milk and put them in the front.
I need a few more,
and then return them. Before you leave. Just put them at the cashier. You're like, I don't need these.
I don't want the money back.
I saw something in the news recently about this is from Nature magazine, Nature. They found stone tools dating back to at least 1.04 million years ago.
That's 1,040,000, I think. That's crazy because that's a lot older than I thought people were using tools.
This paper suggests humans crossed the ocean or crossed oceans over 1 million years ago.
Yeah, I mean that was a pretty big step in our evolution. So if we started that far back, then there could have been a whole advanced society between then and now, based on that.
Were there even oceans back then based on like ice ages then, or were they probably just walking across land?
It must have changed a ton of times between then and now. I mean, 1 million years is a ton. I mean, if you look at our sort of where we switch from history to prehistory, what is
when were dinosaurs around?
65 million years ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think dinosaurs were real?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think everything's real.
A lot of people like have theories on that.
Yeah, but then they have
People are
theories about other stuff.
skeptical.
I know, but those same people have theories about other stuff that I'm like, come on.
I guess what's interesting about the theory is that chicken bone, like most of the skeletons in these museums and stuff are like pasted chicken bones or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they very rarely find full skeletons, right?
Yeah.
So they have to like pad it out with other stuff.
Yeah. Well, you're basically playing God at that point. You're like, this whale bone looks like the femur for a T-Rex. And you're like, put it there.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's true. That's very true. But it doesn't explain the skulls and some of the and the hands. Like some of these things that they do find are not chicken bones.
But then they're like, dinosaurs are related to chickens. And you're like,
So they're not actually related to chickens. They just do that so that they can get away with using chicken bones.
They're like, they're supposed to have, they had feathers.
Nope, it looks like that. Yep. It's part chicken, feathers and everything.
But it's funny because like you don't see skeletons from like, I don't know, like they disintegrate over time a lot, most of the time. So that's why it's really interesting that like something from 65 million years ago could last in certain conditions, I guess. But like it's still crazy.
Yeah, I mean it does. I think that is crazy that how many of them we find allegedly. Especially because I think it does require crazy conditions where air just can't be as present because air is what breaks things down, or like salt water is obviously going to disintegrate things. But there's there's cases of like mud and tar and sap and things like that encase this stuff, and then it mineralizes. Essentially, it's replaced by minerals. So it becomes rock.
That's exactly what we were talking about the other day, about these like it could have been buildings, but they just turned into rock formations at some point because it just mineralizes.
Yeah.
At some level, like if it was a tree, like we were talking about, these huge, massive plateaus in the desert that look like chopped down trees. It's like. That's basically what you're saying happens to dinosaur bones too.
Yeah. I mean, everything will, in the right conditions, return to its earthen fucking origins. I think. I mean, you can break down in different ways, but if there's nothing breaking down the calcium or the whatever it is, imagine it just remains.
Yeah, I would have assumed some other chickens would have eaten those other chickens that died,
I've seen chickens, and yeah, they would have if they had the chance, for sure. Especially giant 30-foot chickens with razor-sharp teeth,
right?
And,
those bones would have been gone, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they would have been crunched up.
It's amazing that we find them.
It is. It is amazing.
What, isn't that, there's a story about some, we don't have it, but there was a story about some new company or it's that was able to get the genome from like a wolverine and like bring it back. Did you see that?
No, but I have been hearing a little bit about bringing extinct animals back. It was a few months ago about the dire wolves. That's when I
Oh, direwolf. Yeah, that was it.
did some of the reading that I did. Yeah, it is interesting.
Wolverine's a comic book character.
Well, Wolverine's also it's an animal too. It's
Oh, okay.
a
Good.
Wolverine and a wolf would definitely have a pretty epic fight with each other. Wolverines are pretty vicious, like almost kind of like a crazy badger, like a giant crazy badger. So, what's that?
I want one.
Yeah, it's like you could set one loose on somebody, get attacked.
Just have it on a chain. This is a biotech company called Colossal Biosciences, who has created genetically engineered dire wolf pups. Their names are Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi, using ancient direwolf DNA and gene editing on gray wolf cells with domestic dogs serving as surrogate mothers. What could go wrong?
Yeah, I talk about playing God like that. This is kind of Jurassic Park adjacent, where we're trying to do crazy stuff with nature and we don't really know what we're doing. I don't know if it's as intense and it has as potential of going wrong as the first thing that pops into my head of just like this elite wolf race just coming to life and forming its own society and hunting us in the streets. But it is still messing with, nature. So that's exciting.
What's stopping them from finding some beeswax with the little mosquito, or what was it?
Yeah,
in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
the emerald or
amber, yeah, like a tree sap.
Amber.
Yeah.
What's stopping this company from doing that?
Because the DNA doesn't exist. Really, that doesn't work with DNA. DNA doesn't persist like that. Even encased in something, DNA breaks down and it doesn't have as much information as you need to create something, which is even why they had to use gray wolf cells to make the dire wolf. And they're saying it's not actually a dire wolf. It has dire wolf DNA in it, but it is a gray wolf mixed with some other stuff and some dire wolf DNA. And they did bring that DNA back. So it is crazy because that DNA went extinct. But they didn't create a dire wolf as it was 100% DNA.
Do you think that they might enter it into a fight with Vic's dogs?
I hope not. I don't know. I don't think.
Jesus.
I think that if it is part wolf, even gray wolf, not dire wolf, Michael Vick's dogs would have a serious problem on their hands because wolves are insane animals, just made for killing. Kind of like they are the sharks of the land.
Do you think they just keep it at these pups at the office, or do you think they bring them home for the weekend?
I think it's probably like a class pet scenario where they live at the office unless you're going on vacation or something like that, and then one of the employees has to take it home to take care of it, and it's a huge responsibility.
You want to get on that list early. Yeah, you don't want to be year 3.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, get that over with early. Check your name off the list.
Like, oh, it's your turn. It's been here's a full grown wolf that
here's Romulus.
I got kids, man.
Here's a dinosaur bone. Please don't eat me.
I drive a Hyundai Elantra. I can't take that thing home.
It's just ripping the back seat to shreds.
I don't drive a Hyundai Elantra. It's a great car. Don't get me wrong, but I don't. So don't look for one.
There's nothing wrong. Speaking of Hyundai.
Yeah, Hyundai is in the news.
Hyundai is in the news
Hyundai.
for Hyundai.
Hyundai.
I'm not sure. It's really hard to pronounce these companies, honestly. Like, it would be great if they like actually made their name brands like, pronounceable in
If they
America.
had some
But like,
SEO and
it's
figured it
just
out.
hard, man. Some of them, like you remember Daewoo?
Daewoo, yeah.
Like, but like, are we even pronouncing it right?
I don't
I don't know. Kawasaki, that one's
That one's
easy.
easy. I like that one. The Japanese ones are a
Me
little
too.
bit easier than the Korean ones.
Yeah, Yamaha,
Yamaha, Honda,
Honda,
Mitsubishi.
is a little harder.
is.
But if you take it slow,
Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi.
But yeah, speaking about Hyundai,
They're calling this battery gate.
yeah, I actually called it that. I t-
Oh, okay, great.
What do you type that part?
Trump's calling this battery gate.
That's funny. Fake news.
No one is safe.
Nobody's ever called it that. Fake news.
It's this just in, battery gate exposed.
Yeah, so they did a raid, an ice raid of a Hyundai battery plant
In Georgia, right?
Yeah. Yep. And they detained a bunch of
What'd they
people.
find?
475 workers were detained, which detained is an interesting word because it is a legal term. It doesn't mean they were arrested. It definitely doesn't mean they were deported. It doesn't even mean they were arrested, is what I mean to say. They were just stopped and asked. Now, that doesn't make it excusable, but they're taking the biggest possible number of everyone that was stopped and questioned and applying it to the
Did you
news
see any
story.
video on this?
No, I didn't know. I didn't watch any video on it. I'm sure it's probably
Just
pretty
wondering if there
traumatic.
was. I was just wondering if there were handcuffs or if it was just zip ties.
I don't know. That's a lot of metal handcuffs. That would be thousands and thousands of dollars in metal handcuffs. So I'm guessing if they were handcuffed, it was with the flex cuffs or the
Flex cuffs, yeah. But I mean, so like this, so what makes this story interesting is, well, first of all, obviously that a huge company like this would just feel, I mean, whether they got duped or they're okay with hiring these types of employees. I'm not sure about the details, but it looks like they did get this same facility was built with $5 billion back. They were given it this investment to build this by our government. They were to build it with $5 billion, and then they end up, I mean, it's not very kosher. It's not really a good look to have almost 500 employees be illegal and we don't even know what the total
No, it doesn't say. I want to be
amount
clear.
of workers.
It doesn't say that 475 people were arrested or accused even of being undocumented. It just says 475 people were detained, which police can detain you when they're investigating something. Anyone can be detained. You don't even have to be guilty of something. You just have to be suspected of something. So
the number could be lower if there are.
It could be zero,
or it could be nothing.
It could be zero based on all the information that I'm reading. So it's just it's a slippery slope and it's very charged. So any headlines anybody reads, just be careful because unless you're there, unless you're the one writing this, you probably don't know the full story. Even the person, I mean, if you're not the one giving out the press release, I should say.
Well, I mean, honestly though, like they shouldn't be going to these factories or places of where workers are unless they have probable cause.
Yes, yeah, no, they definitely built some sort of case to get in there.
I mean, to have a fucking massive raid like this doesn't just come from like a zero number.
No, 100%. Yeah, there's definitely an investigation.
Or if it's political.
I don't know. We have a giant, brand new government subsidized battery plant down the highway from me. Just probably about
Go do some investigative
an
journalism.
hour away.
Get in there.
I know. Have you seen those guys that just stand outside of places and record places until somebody has a problem with it, and then they get the cops called on them? I was thinking, I have way too much time on my hands. What would be a good way to spend it? Oh, record myself getting arrested.
Just get in there, man. Just do some what was that, Beverly Hills Ninja style. Try to get in, go on the palm tree and just
For sure. Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop, same premise. They are hiring all the time, so it wouldn't be hard to get in there. Just pose for like a job interview, accidentally get separated from the group, download the files, and then extract.
just make your way to the basement just to see if there's any cots or beds or just random, like showers for people that, like I feel like these, if there are, these places are housing illegals,
Yeah.
it would be even worse if they were actually living on site too.
So what's interesting from working in manufacturing, a site like this that's subsidized by the government, I worked for a time in
There's housing, huh?
Well, it's set up to be ready to do that. I mean, because it is built to a standard, and there are showers, and there's probably a Fallout style shelter basement that's built underneath it. And there's just sort of life support kind of stuff in there. And I used to work in a decommissioned GM plant that operated very similarly. It was a retired plant, but seeing that old infrastructure was pretty interesting. Downstairs there were giant shower stalls. Everything was built like government spec. Like if you went to public school as a child in the 90s or the 80s, similar style. And it's all
Everything's tiled.
Cold War stuff, I'm guessing is what it's from. Yeah, yellow tile.
Or that subway green.
Yep. Small yellow, green, blue tile. And
The girls' room was a pink.
Yeah, for sure. And then
That's when there were girls' rooms.
yeah. I'm not opposed to telling someone, hey, it's okay to use the women's bathroom if I'm working somewhere. I mean, like it's a single room and the door locks, and I'd rather have you go in there than shit on the floor right now. So please do what you have to do.
What's it? I mean, you don't own the business. You could tell them to do whatever you wanted to tell them.
I don't own the business, but the owners of the business typically give me enough control and power to just do whatever I want at any given time. So that's why I don't have a boss anymore, because it's
as long as you go back,
it's not necessary.
You go in there, you just make sure that people aren't graffitiing the place up,
Yes,
writing those nasty notes on the walls.
It was funny. The facility that I worked at, there was that, and it was actually kind of funny. And whatever. Like, no, the owner doesn't want it, but fuck the owner. They're making millions of dollars, and I can't fucking draw a wiener on the stall in the bathroom.
There was a cool bar near me that had a chalkboard. I felt like that was reasonable, where the whole wall, I think, was like they like painted it with that blackboard paint.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just a great idea, because like instead of knowing, that people are going to end up doing that anyways, graffitiing or doing something to the walls. So like give an option for people that is erasable and put some chalk there. And then that way you don't have any you have the ability to clean it at the end of the night or leave it up. But you also give the customers the option to have fun.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. That there was in Santa Barbara a pizza place on Upper State Street that had that. We must have been there before.
But Pizza Guru?
Pizza Guru, yeah. That place was delicious.
Yeah, I remember that place. That place was great.
Yeah.
They had so many different varieties of pizza too. I felt like that might have been their demise.
You could get pitchers of good beer. I didn't know they went out of business even, but they had a pizza with very thinly sliced red potatoes on the top. Oh boy, and like pulled pork. Shit,
Yeah.
partner.
But they also had like the good trays with the real bumps,
Yeah.
so that the bottom of the pizza stayed crispy. It didn't get soggy.
Yeah, and glass pitchers of beer, like big pitchers. Yeah,
And a good little front deck.
nice little patio.
You could sit outside. Yeah, patio.
And then chalkboard in the bathroom.
If you're still alive, sponsor us.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'd shout them out.
Give us a shout out. We're giving you a shout out. So shout us out.
Pizza Guru on Upper State Street,
Upper State.
Santa Barbara, California.
So what else we got going on? There's too much going on. I mean, as far as just economy, fucking energy, just loads and loads and loads of stuff. One of the other thing that I saw that was very interesting was just like the tariffs. Did you see that there was that was in the news today where they're basically all the judges just ruled that it was like it's illegal and they're not going to be able to go forward with it.
Yeah, and they're not going to be able to enforce stuff and things like that, which is totally normal, I suppose. I mean, anytime you have two different political parties, one person's trying to push something and the other one's trying to do whatever they can to stop it, which is what makes the country fair and kind of even, is the ability to do that. So
Yeah, but I mean, like, don't you think that like the ruling, whoever's in charge of the government has like the upper hand on setting the economic framework at which the country is going to repay their debts or like get out of a fiscal situation?
Yeah, I believe that also, that yes, we elected someone to, do what they think is best for the country. They impose tariffs, but it's also a responsible practice to have somebody challenging you on everything you do.
But with court cases, there's like precedents that get set. So in this case, I would say that there was precedents in the sense that our country has had tariffs in the past. So why would it be illegal to make tariffs now?
100%. As long as we're following that same process that set those precedents, then it takes a lot more burden of proof to disprove them as legal if their precedent already existed and it's been working for years and years. I'm curious if we're following the same process that we did before. Tariffs.
I just always knew too that like this thing was kind of fucked to begin with because of how many times they did 90 days delay. Like they kept on delaying it since like they came out with it in April or May. And so there was something shady going on from my understanding, because like how could something get delayed that many times and we're here in September and then we find out it's illegal? Like, they obviously knew something was up and they were using it as leverage to have negotiations with these other countries and kind of fuck things, or like basically, I don't know, like make things seem bigger or badder as a negotiation tactic.
I think 100% all of it's a negotiation tactic. Donald Trump loves business deals, so that's how he flexes his muscle.
He's not proven that he's been good at it though recently, because of how many times he's fucking getting stopped.
He hasn't proven he's been good at it his entire life, honestly, if you kind of look at numbers and things. But he's a personality, so he rose above the need to be good at something because he's good at he's good on TV, and that's before he was president. That's what he had. That was his empire, was being a personality. But
his bank account shows that he's pretty good at it.
He's good at it. There's different measures of how good someone is at something. And
in today's day and age, it's a bank account.
And I never fault Trump for being who he is. I don't fault anybody for being who they are. It's the people that elect these folks into office. And to expect him to be a president when he's never been a politician, you're going to get a certain type of personality in there, and that's what supposedly more than half the people in the country wanted. So we got to listen to that. And then, yeah, he loves business deals. So the tariffs are a great way to bring countries to the table. They have to talk about this, or this is going to really hurt their smaller economies. So I think delaying it was probably just time to negotiate with more and more people, and to try and get stuff out of them that we're not hearing about. I think is part of it. Is like, yeah, we're talking about tariffs and we're distracted with tariffs, but these conversations with these other countries, they don't have to be about tariffs. They can be like, all right, we'll give you good tariff deals if you let us put a base in your country and we can fly secret B-2 missions out of it. Or, we need, all this money that you've been laundering for the last 100 years. We're going to need you to funnel it through us a little bit more. I don't know exactly what they're talking about. Obviously it's a secret, but everything's a negotiation tactic in politics.
But with this recent headline, though, of it being illegal, doesn't that give like the upper hand to these other countries that we were negotiating with?
I guess so. We always have the upper hand. It's just getting them to the table to scare them into getting stuff done is probably the
we were scaring them with 100, and we were like at like 200% tariffs, and then like it ended with like 15 or 10 negligible tariffs.
So what did they give us?
Percentage
What did they give us instead?
I don't know. I didn't see much of it, so I think that it's pretty interesting too, because our government was touting billions of dollars in tariff revenue coming in. And now with this ruling, they say that we have to give all that money back.
Yeah, the legal system, man. Legal system. I mean, that's what Trump's opponents have been doing to him for years and years now, even since before he was president. Lawsuits and things like that are power play.
It seems that with this poll, 62% of Americans opposed Trump's tariffs to begin with. It started in June with 59% opposing it, then July 60% opposing it, now 62. It wasn't heavily favored by the populace, and he's supposedly this populist president. So if people didn't want it doesn't seem like it was favorable for him to go through with it anyways.
No, I think he has a mindset that he just wants to win no matter what. So what people think isn't really high on his list of just qualifications to make a decision. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know a list of things that haven't been popular but have somehow worked out. But that's a possibility that it could work out, even though it's not popular. Is he supposed to do what the people want him to do? Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's his main job. So I think he definitely should listen to the populace. If I had,
it was going to make. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Real quick, I'll wrap it up. If I had what I thought was a good idea, and I trusted in myself 10 million%, like I'm sure Trump does, would I listen to the populace is the question. I'm not that self-assured, and I do value other people's input, so it's hard for me to put myself in his shoes, but I know that he probably thinks he's the smartest guy in the room all the time, and that served him well, so he has proof that it works. And the populace, it maybe doesn't understand what he's trying to do is what's going through his head, so he's going to do whatever he wants because he knows what's best for the greater good. And that's a scary person to have in power, for sure.
It was going to make prices of goods go up in cost for regular people, though. Like, tariffs weren't going to be put onto these other countries without the consumer paying the price here at home.
Of course.
So it also just, it's not something that seems like it was going to be a win-win.
No, but it does funnel money directly into the government from these other countries. So yes, we end up feeling it. It's a trickle down economics theory of the government getting more money to improve the economy, and us having to foot most of the bill. But don't worry, the government's going to do the right thing with this money and make our lives better for us. And yeah, it's very problematic. But
it just seems like they're stealing from poor countries, and when we are the central bank that prints the money and has a big central bank that can print the money anyways, so it's like kind of defeatist in that sense that, like, do we actually need tariffs? I don't know. I mean,
no, we don't need tariffs, but
I think there's probably other ways of going about this, but it also seems like we are trying to play like a global economic hitman type of strategy where because we're battling these BRICS countries, Brazil, India, Russia, China, and in that regard, those were the countries that were going to hit hardest with these tariffs. And now that tariffs are off the table, what scares me or what concerns me is, like, when I see, remember we were talking about, hey, our government has a defense department, but it seems like we're always playing offense.
Yeah.
And then in the news now is that they renamed the defense department the Department of War.
Yeah, they renamed the Pentagon, or Trump did. I don't know how much they or just he did it by himself, but hey, it's so
is war on the table now that tariffs are less of a strategy, like a soft power strategy on a global scale? Does war now come to the forefront as the next strategy to get what we want, because judges aren't going to be able to tell Trump that it's illegal to go to war?
Yeah, I mean, going to war without approval is already illegal, and he's pushing that boundary. He's pushed that boundary in the past.
Well, every president has pushed that boundary.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it is their biggest muscle. So yeah, that's the pinnacle of them expressing their power. So
it doesn't have to be called war, but it can be called an operation.
I'd rather
such and such.
I'd rather it be called war than the Defense Department, honestly, because it's more honest, at least.
Yeah.
And if that's what is going to be in the headline now, is like the Department of War said this, there's two different thoughts. Is that are they using it to desensitize us to the idea of war, or are they just kind of making it seem more honest? And are they doing the good guy thing, or are they doing the subliminal bad guy thing, which is what I'm mostly concerned about.
Me too. I mean, okay, and another thing that really concerns me is that for the last 8 out of 9 days, the gold price has been going up. And gold price going up usually is a sign that events are in the making, if you will. The gold price doesn't go up just willy-nilly like that. And so Yeah, the gold price now being $3,600, new all-time high, does not bode well for, um, yeah, for global, whatever, global news or events potentially on the forefront. It's usually a precursor to something happening.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what events were brought around, or correlate with the increase in gold prices, just to get a flavor of what we're in for. I'm guessing it's nothing good, just because that's not the direction I feel like we're going. But um, yeah, I mean, gold being more valuable. I wish I had more gold.
Yeah, we all do. Costco is your number one best friend. You should have gotten on the gold train because they've been selling ounces out the
You
ass.
can buy gold at Costco.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But they've been doing that for the last 2 years, and it's been one of their number one sellers that keep on getting. They basically keep on selling out every time they release or bring it to the store. So here's a list. High inflation, investor, is the trigger. Investors buy gold to hedge against higher inflation. So again, this probably mostly has to do with potential for the Fed to cut interest rates. And as soon as, like, that's what's in the news for September, it's almost a certainty that they're going to cut the rates based on employment and the employment factor going down, and also um, uh, uh, loss of jobs going up. So when the Fed usually cuts rates, uh, that's when inflation arrives. Falling real interest rates. So again, that's the same thing. Quantitative easing. Okay, geopolitical. So geopolitical tensions and conflicts, wars and invasions. Investors seek safe haven assets during uncertainty. Historical examples: Gulf War, 1990-91, Russia-Ukraine War, 2022, surge from it was around $1,200 or $1,300, I want to say, and then it went to $2,000 as soon as the Russia-Ukraine war started. Terrorist attacks happened with 9/11. And gold prices spiked. Trade wars and sanctions. U.S.-China trade tensions, 2018 to 2019. The gold price spikes. Financial market crises. So the stock market crashes. Historical examples are global financial crisis, 2008, 2011, rally from $800 gold to $1,900 gold. Currency crises, historical example, Asian financial crisis, 1997, 1998, and the Turkish lira crisis, 2018, and bank failures.
Oh, stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that's actually currently, it's around. Like these are events that aren't so distant in our past, and some of these triggers seem like they're potentials on the horizon just today. It doesn't have to be war, but a lot of these other triggers are in the works as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely correlation to stuff, and people buy things that remain valuable when there's panic stuff going on. So people are panicking. Then what are they panicking about is kind of the root question. But seems like a panic buy kind of scenario. If I had a bunch of gold, would I consider selling it at some point pretty soon? Just because if shit does hit the fan, then is it going to drop off a cliff because the world is in actual chaos and turmoil? It could be. Sell it to me at a discount.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that gold prices would go well. Okay, so yeah, of course you'd want to have uh cash on hand to be able to deal with the day to day. But if you need a store of value, then you're going to gold for like a longer play. The short to midterm play is having, 6 months cash, maybe 6 to 10 months cash on hand. But a lot of this has to do with people trying to figure out where to put their savings. Because as what was it? There was another thing. Yeah. So as it is currently, it took 220 years for us, for our U.S. Total debt outstanding to reach $1 trillion, and today we are adding we are adding $1 trillion of debt every 5 months.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's increasing.
So our cash is going to be less valuable, which means that you're going to need more paper dollars to buy gold, hard asset.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think people will buy consistent things when they're in times of uncertainty, and gold is obviously a very consistent and desirably consistent resource. So there's uncertainty. I think
and silver's I mean, nobody wants to talk about silver as much as gold. It's not as sexy, but it just hit of $41 an ounce, which is the highest price in the last 14 years.
Yeah, you'll probably see it with all of these kind of precious metals and things, except for diamonds, which don't have actual value, which I saw that. Yeah, I saw that too, where diamonds are taking a nosedive as far as value goes.
It's the lowest price for price of diamonds since 2001.
Yeah, nothing is as cheap as it was back then.
I mean, do you think that has to do a little bit with the more social side of things, of people not getting married as often, or like other
I think that's the smallest part of the market. I don't know exactly how the jewelry market affects it, but it does affect the trade, I suppose. In some regard, I possibly like industrial uses dictated a little bit, but I think just like gold, it's not for a use of something, it's just to have something valuable, right? Something that is constant in its value, unlike the dollar or any sort of type of floating arbitrary valued item. It definitely is going to be affected a little bit by consumer purchasing. But you're talking about these giant corporations and stuff with billions of dollars to spend to invest in this stuff, and they're the ones not buying it and not affecting it as much.
It just seems like there's a uncertainty, fear, uncertainty, and in the market. And I don't know. That's what I'm getting from a lot of this shit. Diamonds, especially, are not necessarily the end all be all for things, but it does remind me of last episode where we were talking about luxury brands like Lamborghini, and you were like, yeah, I mean, of course, like a luxury brand like Lamborghini, people aren't buying Lamborghinis right now. So whoop-de-doo type of thing, and it probably also has to do with diamonds too,
Yeah. And I think it's probably a little bit a sign of the times what people put their value in. There's a lot that's come out about diamonds and how the prices aren't actually set in reality, and they're just set by the De Beers people that control the world's diamond supply. And I think as more information is available, we're going to see some things fade out of the popular culture.
Are they getting undercut by like the man-made diamonds too?
Oh yeah,
probably.
That's a good point.
Like people are like, well, I mean, it literally looks exactly the same. Why am I paying whatever price for a real diamond?
Yep. I think that there's still value in natural diamonds over lab grown diamonds, but it does look exactly the same. So if you're buying it for looks, pay the lower price.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some health stuff. I thought the fast food price inflation was pretty interesting.
Yeah, what were you saying about that?
There's just a list of the biggest companies here in fast food and how inflation has increased from 2014 up until it's loading up here till 2024. I had to make it bigger because my eyes. But yeah, McDonald's is topping the list at 100% inflation since 2014, which is surprising. I mean, they're still busy from just my personal experience, so they must be doing pretty well, just charging people way more than they used to for the same product. Then you have Popeyes is next, 86%, Taco Bell 81%, Chipotle's gone up 75%. Chipotle is kind of surprising. I think they're owned by McDonald's, or that was the rumor back in the day. So I don't know. I don't know how many of these companies are actually owned by one person. But then you have a little black dot, which I'm not sure. Oh, that's Jimmy John's, I think. 62.
Jimmy
John's has gone up 62%. But then you get into the companies that I appreciate aren't going through inflation as much. So in the 55% tier, we have Arby's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, and Wendy's, which I like those restaurants more than Taco Bell, McDonald's, and Popeyes. Chipotle I really like. I mean, Chipotle is really high on my list of fast food options. But yeah.
Doesn't 2014 like seem like yesterday though?
It does for sure. A lot of time has passed.
100% inflation since 2014.
Yeah, in 11 years. Yeah, and they're the ones that can drive the market. McDonald's has enough capital to buy all of the things that they need at a greater discount than the smaller companies. So
they should.
Yeah, they're probably.
Is it just their profit margin that's going up?
The cost of goods is going up too. I mean, we've talked about the cost of beef, and there was a time when McDonald's they couldn't get eggs for their breakfast stuff. So I don't know if you follow it as closely as I do, but McDonald's came out with all day breakfast a number of years ago, and they impacted the egg market, and then also the egg market had a dip, I think, because of like an avian flu or some sort of issue.
They were killing the chickens.
yeah. And they suffered through that, and then they got rid of all day breakfast because of eggs specifically. So yeah, they're huge, and they.
What about the McRib?
Whatever animal a McRib comes from, I'm sure. I'm sure is affected.
Have you seen that receipt from a Taco Bell that somebody found in like their drawer from like 1996 or something like that?
No, I don't think so. I'm sure it was different.
I should send it to you. Yeah, it's hilarious because they got like 17 gordita like crunches and like 18 supreme whatever tacos and like what it was just like a massive order and it was like 6.95 or something. So crazy.
Yeah, you can't really eat anywhere for less than $10 these days to get like enough food for yourself, and that's minimum. That's value menu and enough calories to last a day.
When I was trying to save money at my second job out of college, I was able to I was going to Burger King and getting 2 hamburgers and a small French fry, and it was $4.95. And that was my lunch, like not every day, but like I was trying to save money at that point. It was 2015. So that same thing today is now whatever. Let's see. It would be like $8.95 probably.
Yeah, probably more, probably like $15, I'm guessing. Yeah, right pre-pandemic, I where I was working was right across the street from a Wendy's, and they had something called the Biggie Bag. It was like $4 or $5, and I think it had 2 sandwiches and fries, or you could like mix and match shit. I think you could get like chicken nuggets and a burger and fries and a drink for $4 or $5. And man, times were good. 2019.
Yeah.
Life.
That doesn't. Yeah, that's a sustainable diet as well. Like, I mean, it's not going too heavy in the paint as far as calories too.
I mean, the quality of the food is the problem. Yeah, if you're only eating that one thing a day, your calories aren't going to be you're not overshooting it by that much, but just the quality of the calories that you're putting in your body is probably a problem. It's all fat and seed oils and, fucking corn syrup and fillers and binders and stuff like that.
Are you a quantity over quality guy, or are you quality over quantity?
I'm a quality over quantity guy for sure. I do want to before we move on, I do want to shout out to Subway and also to Starbucks, who are the lowest on the list at only 39% inflation, which is only 8% more than actual like national average inflation. So while they're still a little bit higher, it seems like they're doing a good job. And I've actually been on a little bit of a Subway kick recently. So if I sponsor a Subway, if I do have to eat fast food, then Subway's been high on my list recently. And I'm getting it.
Just watch out with, man. I don't know if they changed their bread, but the rumor was that they make their bread with some same ingredients as yoga mats.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that's possible.
Subway bread yoga mats. Sorry, I'm just quickly just to verify. I mean, this was a rumor back in 2012, 2011. This refers to a 2014 public relations incident involving Subway's use of the food additive dicarbonamide in its bread. The chemical became infamous because it is also used industrially in the manufacture of foamed plastics, including foam mats, sometimes used in yoga studios.
Yeah, no, it's not good for you. You can get vegetables there though, which you can't say for a lot of food that's $10 and doesn't make me feel like shit after I eat it.
I think they should have leaned into it, and they should have came out with a yoga mat that looked like a big loaf of bread.
Yeah, I think that would have been really good. Yeah, or just a giant pillow that's like a 3 foot long or 6 foot long loaf of Subway bread that's foam. Yeah.
And they got but yeah, no, I had a Subway underneath my design studio in college, and then they got a lot of my business late nights. So,
and they're open late, sometimes midnight.
They're open late.
Yeah.
And I think that what helps them to keep their inflation price down their prices down is the fact that they don't have too many options compared to, I mean, it's just like deli sandwiches, and Starbucks is just
Coffee
They
drinks.
have a little bit of
Mhm.
other stuff, but it's not that much compared to like a McDonald's menu or a Popeyes, or I mean, Taco Bell probably makes everything from the same
Yeah.
4 or 5 ingredients, but I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting that like they found it, it goes to show that if you want to open up a restaurant and keep it successful, most likely do a smaller number of options on your menu, and you'll go further longevity wise.
Yeah, it's just less logistics and inventory and keeping track of things and things going bad and stuff like that. So the less you do, the more efficient it can run. It's interesting is Subway and Starbucks are also two of the globally largest fast food establishments. So you think it would be a McDonald's or a Burger King or something like that, while they're huge here in the United States. Globally, Subway's number one for number of locations. They have far and ahead more locations around the world than some of these other places.
Whatever happened to Quiznos?
I don't know. I liked Quiznos.
Me too.
We have something called
They toasted.
we have Penn Station out here, which is pretty good. You have Penn Station there. I think they're pretty global. I just didn't see them until I moved out here.
I haven't seen them.
Yep, hot sandwiches.
Quiznos. Shout out.
Quiznos.
Come back.
Yeah.
It was a fun name to say too.
It was. There was a place called Togo's too when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Togo's was okay.
But they put too much salad. Like it was like all lettuce, like that shredded lettuce. And like half of the sandwich was just shredded lettuce. And you're like, where's the meat at?
I think it was a heavy mayonnaise situation over there too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's one of those.
Well, speaking of good food, these yogurts that are sold were in the UK and the US. There was a pretty interesting article about the ingredients. And for the same yogurt product that's sold in the UK has 8 ingredients, and the one in the US has 21 ingredients. So does more equal better in this situation? Do you think we're right and they're maybe not getting like the best product over there, or are we just getting fed like something that has way too many ingredients and we should probably dial it back?
I think it might be, as with everything, both things are true. I think that it depends on what the ingredients actually are. There's got to be some ones that are bad that probably are more heavily regulated other places. But there might be, because I'm just, it's a video, so it's kind of hard for me to read. And it's on a pause screen right now, but it does look as though there are some more strains of like cultures in it. Yeah, because there are some more like natural,
which could be good.
And then also it could be just the fact that we need to describe our ingredients in more detail here than they do over there. They could have compounded ingredients that they're including that their regulations don't require them to split out into individual ingredients like we do. I think it's probably more the fact that we have more crazy shit in it, and we shouldn't. I'd rather have less ingredients than more, but I always like.
We have an eclectic taste over here as well. You know, maybe the English have a more basic profile on their taste buds.
They definitely do. Yeah, things are sweeter and more flavorful here than most anywhere, other than maybe like Latin America where stuff is crazy flavorful.
Maybe they couldn't get away with selling it to their population over there just based on like just taste profile alone.
I think people would go.
They'd be like, "What is?"
I think they'd start rebelling against their government if they started eating American Activia yogurt. Honestly, it would just open their mind too much, so the government regulates it down to like keep
Shut it
keep
down.
their people pacified.
Yeah.
First you buy an Activia yogurt, and then you have to go out and buy a gun. That's
Yeah.
what.
Then you're looking at a Second Amendment.
That's true. Hell, they should just start with the First Amendment, and then we could talk about the Second.
I'm gonna try to. That's true. That's also a big news topic, but I think we could save that for a later date because
that is a big topic.
That will continue to be a problem over there forever and ever.
It's a good topic. I like that one, so I'm down to spend more time on it than we have for this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. You can. I mean, if you have interesting a viewpoint on that, let's get into it right now.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I think freedom of speech is the main reason why I love this country as much as I do. That's really the kind of the great equalizer of everyone, is everyone can say whatever the fuck they want to say. And I take advantage of it, and I find a lot of comfort in it. And there's a majority of the world isn't like that. And we're seeing it in England right now with entertainers or just regular people getting arrested and getting put through the legal system over there for just things they've said on the internet. And it obviously there's going to be people saying like, well, they're saying evil stuff. It's like, yes, there are people that are saying evil stuff, but the stuff that I'm talking about doesn't deserve to even be looked into, let alone, somebody be persecuted and prosecuted for what they say.
Yeah.
And even if people are saying evil stuff, it's their right to say it, and they deal with the consequences of society for being that way. Yeah.
The scary part to me is the fact that most of the people that are having issues with this freedom of speech over there most likely aren't actually getting the publicity that they deserve based on the fear of repercussions from of other people telling their story.
Yeah, you can get in trouble for platforming someone or not going hard enough at somebody that doesn't follow the social views of what they're saying. So yeah, absolutely. And when you have media as such a for-profit organization, and you can lose your livelihood for just talking about something, what's going to happen? It's going to be a natural self-censorship, right? So these things aren't going to get talked about because of the fear of the repercussions, which is it's a beautiful and terrible model for controlling people because it works so well. That's why I say it's kind of a beautiful system if you really want to control people, not in the sense that it's good, but it's very effective. And then, yeah, it feeds itself, which I think we've kind of let it run away from control. We just let it go, and
they've let it run away. Correction.
Yes. Yeah. We as a human population, it's swinging the other way in the United States, which is, I'm kind of proud of. More people are saying more crazy stuff than ever before, and I'm here for it.
I agree. I'm with you on that. England has had a long-standing relationship with big media, and having it be more on the socialist side of democratized media, where like their broadcasting networks are heavily government censored or controlled. And it goes to show that like that's probably one of the number one reasons why they would want to censor normal people's speech, because they're losing control of the pulpit, if you will, as the decentralized network of platforms and people's ability to get on platforms on the internet and have a voice. The market is growing rapidly, and I feel like there's probably a lot of fear in the mainstream of their government owned broadcasting networks to losing the market share.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, they're going after him hard because like they probably are even getting, like BBC is like, dude, you need to go after these smaller guys because like we're losing the market. Get after
It's
them.
already, I mean, at least in the United States, it's been lost.
Yeah.
I mean, they're hanging
Yeah.
on by a string. There's still enough people of a certain demographic that are watching them to sustain the level that they're at now.
Like 67 plus.
Yeah. I mean, it probably, I think it dips down still into like the late 40s at least where I live.
Depends on which news network or what network in general.
Yeah, absolutely. They've lost it already. They've lost trust, and that's all they had for so long, is that people trusted what they were talking about. Now we can see that they have been untrustworthy, and maybe even forever they've been untrustworthy. That's kind of the fear that I have, is that we should have never trusted what they were saying, at least in my lifetime.
At least heavily biased.
Yes, heavily biased, and then also with capitalist agendas or even political agendas.
Paid to play type of situation.
Yep, pharmaceutical companies having influence, and when it was like big tobacco, or even boiling down to like the food lobbies of like sugar versus fat and all this stuff. When going beyond media, we had textbooks that were showing us that grains and bread were the most important thing to eat throughout the day. And who pushed that food pyramid?
Kellogg's probably.
Yeah, the grain industry did. Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Kellogg.
Yeah. All the
And Mrs.
wheat farmers and distributors and processors, and they had the most money at the time to get their stuff printed in the books. So that's how
Big corn.
Yeah, big corn, the biggest corn you've ever seen. Have you seen some of this corn these days?
Dude, big corn has a huge impact on what our food pyramid looked like.
A lot more than small corn, I can tell you that.
It is interesting to see how much of that has corn has gotten into almost every product.
Yep. Yeah.
And byproducts of it and all sorts of, I mean, yeah. I commend a lot of, like, as detrimental as it is for health, it's also very ingenious in the fact of how these corporations have been able to like take it's almost like we tout the Native Americans for being like amazing at like when they make a kill on an animal, like they use every part of that animal, and like we're like we celebrate them for that, so it's like so similar with these big corporations, and like the ones that are able to like just use every part of the product and like distribute that throughout the society, and to like reap the benefit of a reward for using every little fucking part of that is it's pretty insanely like amazing how they were able to figure that one out. It's almost like a wartime strategy.
Yeah, I was right before you said that, I was going to say, while I don't agree with the health aspects of the corn industry, the amount of science and technology and genetic engineering that's gone into creating the most possible energy out of a square foot of farmland, that the amount of benefit overall that could have in concept is really interesting and really cool, for lack of a better term. I think it's
Yeah.
really amazing just how much energy we can get out now from a square acre of corn when you're talking about ethanol and corn syrups and things like that are so energy dense that they might not be healthy to put in your body. But but it is a very efficient and very interesting use of the land and how much it's changed recently. The benefits are there, but right now we're drinking this stuff and burning it, and it's we're not there yet, but we're getting there slowly. This kind of future use of our resources.
It reminds me of big oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the amount of products that Petrol has gotten its hands into. It's like, again, like the way that they're able to take a barrel of crude and basically take all the levels of the it's basically distillation of that oil to get all these different products from it.
Everything we
is
touch,
insanely amazing.
everything we touch throughout the day, the clothes on your body, the keyboard,
Your Subway
the
sandwich,
the bread of your Subway sandwich, everything is it has oil or petroleum products in it. You just made me think of something. I don't know if you've heard of a television show called Landman, but it has Billy Bob Thornton in it, and it's from the creator of Yellowstone. It's kind of like an organized crime family sort of drama, primetime soap opera kind of style of show. And I was thinking the next one should be like a corn family, like a corn mafia, dude. Or just like
absolutely
Midwest, like good old boys, like causing havoc and fucking doing mafia shit, but they
own a Build-A-Bear franchise as well. And all the stuffing comes from corn
stuffing. That sounds delicious.
The holidays are coming up.
That's true. I'm gonna look up some
get your corn now.
Stuffing recipes. Corn's delicious too. It's like the actual plant that you boil and put a little butter and salt on there. Man, that's some good stuff. It gets stuck in your teeth, but it's really the only downside.
Do you think they actually take good corn and make it into the kernels for popcorn, or are they just taking the shit product and we can make that into a popcorn kernel for a movie theater?
I think the actual end consumer corn is probably the top shelf corn. I think all the ethanol corn and the industrial stuff,
that's popcorn.
No, I think popcorn is still probably pretty top shelf too. Because what about all the disease stuff and the stuff that a deer?
It burns out
its ass, or I don't know. I don't know what they're using it out there for, but
where does Regal Cinema get their popcorn from, dude?
I don't know, but hopefully not the same place AMC is getting it from.
I feel like they're sweeping the floors at those silos, and then they're like, "Let's send it to AMC."
They could. You get a spark plug in it or something like that.
It's a tractor part. Where's the butter come from?
Probably from petroleum.
Again, fucking geniuses.
It's probably corn syrup and petroleum distillate and fucking.
How long does that stay in your palate for? After the movie theater, you go to the movie, you're there for 3 hours, 2 hours, let's say on average, and you're eating a bucket of popcorn with that specific butter. That's an all night thing.
We have an option at our local movie theater where you can order it.
Bring your own butter.
Well, you can order it with real butter or movie theater butter.
Oh.
And I usually go with the real butter. The movie theater butter does have the flavor though. If you want the movie experience, that is the flavor that you're looking for. Real butter's great. It tastes good, but it's not the movie theater style of popcorn at that point.
Is it just chunks of real
butter? No, it's
that
melted. It just comes out of a a different machine. It's still a button that they push, but
It'd be awesome if the guy's back there
Hell
slicing
yeah.
like just chunks of butter, puts it in like in layers.
Mixes it in right in front of you. Hey, I mean, the movie theater experience is getting nicer and nicer.
Yeah, it is. I mean, are people going to the movie theater enough to make it continue to make it a nice experience, or do you think it's going um
I,
is it going to be less
I think that market reset with
viable?
streaming. I think it reset just because streaming was such an easy option. So people did stay home more and watch more shows, as you know, for a convenience factor and a cost factor. But the ones that are surviving, I think we are seeing a swing, because we had one that went out of business, an AMC downtown here in my town, and then it was purchased by a smaller company. The building was, and now it's doing pretty well. I would imagine they seem pretty busy. Also, like the 3D and IMAX and 4D experience movies are pretty sweet. The reclining seats, you can get dinner, and there's a bar at the movie theater we go to, and it's pretty nice experience. So I'm glad that it reset, because it drove innovation and change.
Isn't it funny that these movie theaters didn't try to diversify? Because like they used to be like actual theaters, right? So like go back to your roots. Like when you see that movies maybe are on a decline or you're getting less customers, like how could they not just say, why don't we just go? Like it's like anything that you do, if you're not really good at it, or sorry, if you're not getting the results that you want, you say, let me go back to the basics. Because these movie theaters have the easiest setup to be a comedy show or an actual concert, like bring in a live band, or be an actual performing arts center, dance, whatever. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here, but like the fact that they just said like, fuck it, I'm not gonna get as many people into my movie theater because they don't want to watch movies, is also kind of like a dumb premise, that they wouldn't also just be like, maybe I could do something else with the same stadium seating / stage that I have in the front.
Yeah, it could absolutely be like more of like a public event space. I think you just don't. You have to think about how many movie theaters there are and what markets they're in, and how many actual like performers and live acts you can actually put on that will sell the amount of tickets. Movies are just repeatable, right? You buy it once and then you show it for 3 or 4 months.
Well, I think that gets into 2025 / the future, where if they can do Tupac as a hologram, what's not to say that they can't have live performances brought in from wherever it is in the world? Like just beam it in, Scotty.
I like that idea, like a movie theater style building, but it just has different hologram live performances, and you could watch the Beatles, you could watch anyone throughout history, and make it sound live. It's not just the recording of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do different styles too. You could just go and watch the recording, or the recorded version of an album with like a studio session style setup.
Yeah.
Where they're playing the hits. Yeah, I like that a lot. I would go. I mean, hey, do you want to go see like Van Halen tonight at the movie theater?
Right.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's go see Van Halen.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's awesome. I'd buy tickets for sure.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, that goes into your point of like, okay, well, you might not be in the market for Taylor Swift to come to your little small town, but she's playing somewhere. So all they need to do is be recording it wherever the concert is that she's at right at that moment, and she could be beamed live into thousands of venues or movie theaters that are also hologram theaters across the nation. Like, why is she just stopping with one live performance that she's selling tickets to, when she could be selling tickets to every single movie theater in the whole country?
It's not hologram, but
it's not hologram.
She made a movie that was wildly successful.
Yeah, well, Taylor Swift make a hologram.
Hologram Taylor Swift, 100%.
Yeah,
hologram everybody.
All right. hologram everybody. I mean, that's where we're into the AI thing where I'm seeing people able to um, take pictures, just literally take images and make them into a video. So if I have a picture of a Beatles, of the Beatles playing in '75 from a concert, they could basically do the whole Sgt. Pepper Lonely Heart album as a live
Yeah,
act.
yeah, 100%. I mean, enough images of these people exist that you could make a facsimile of them in a hologram. Yeah, we did it with Tupac, and there wasn't a ton, he wasn't alive for long enough to create a huge amount of video evidence of him, and that hologram was pretty dope. And that was 10 years ago now, or more. I don't even remember when that was exactly, but that was years ago.
Where was that? Coachella
Yeah,
or
it was
somewhere?
at Coachella. And they've done it a few other times too. They did a Whitney Houston one at the Grammys or something like that. That was really good. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Me too.
Somebody do it.
Someone do that. That's a good one. And then just shout us out and free lifetime passes. It's
That's
not a big
all we
deal.
ask. You keep all the money. That's fine. Just free lifetime passes and a shout out every once in a while. It doesn't even have to be we don't need our name on everything. Just, yeah.
No, we're not asking for that. We don't even want it.
I don't know.
Just every little, every little bit counts.
It does. And we're lucky that, or I'm lucky, I guess, that I enjoy doing this podcast so much, because as soon as I'm replaced by a hologram, there's an option to not do it anymore, and I'll just be a hologram. But I'm not going to do that because it's fun. That's my pledge.
I'm gonna make you a hologram.
Dude, you
tomorrow.
can't. No, I don't consent. Non-consensual hologramming of people really is going to become an issue. And
where did Tupac consent to a hologram?
well, after you fake your death, you don't really get to decide anymore. What's he going to do? Come out of hiding?
Poor Biggie. He didn't get a hologram. Was he too big for the
He should
hologram?
get well, with technology now, there should be no limit to the size of someone that gets a hologram.
How does Biggie not have a meal at Wendy's or McDonald's?
I know.
The Biggie Smalls.
They did the Biggie bag at Wendy's, and they should have branded it.
That's what you were
They should have
saying.
branded
Yeah.
it with Biggie Smalls.
When-
The commercial should have had Biggie music. That would have been awesome. I love Biggie songs. So
Yeah, me too.
cool.
There was this movie with Keanu Reeves with the baseball team. Do you remember that?
100%. Yes, I watched it many times as a kid.
What was that called? That was great.
Was it called
And the pitcher
Hardball?
was into Biggie. Yeah. Yeah. That was awesome.
I like it
And
when
the
you call
picture
me
was,
Big
like,
Papa.
dope.
Yeah, that was a traumatic movie when
was
I
great.
watched it as a kid. I won't. No,
That's
spoiler
true.
alert. Sad things
Don't-
happen.
Yeah. Well, every story has its ups and
That
downs.
one was really that one really hit me though. It still sticks with
I
me
know.
to this day.
We'll get choked up, man. It's okay. We'll move on.
I don't want to talk about that movie. Just kidding. It's a great movie.
You know what we were talking about with the energy and like oil production / just being in everything. Also corn. One of the stories that got me this week was Singapore being able to run. What was it? Singapore burns its trash to power its cities. And so it was able to reduce its waste by 90% by basically generating electricity from their trash.
Physically, what are they doing with it? Burning it? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's downsides to that, but yeah. If you've ever,
Well, I'm sure that there's some sort of sequestering of the waste in a way. So I remember like one of the revelations that I had was everybody was getting on people for having plastic bags at the supermarket. And this is back in 2012 or 2011. And I was saying, well, if plastic bags are derived from petroleum, what's not to say that we're not able to change, like basically distill it back into petrol when we're done using
Yeah.
it. And then it was funny because like not even like a year and a half later, there was a company that I went down to Santa Barbara to see, and they were a company from Asia that created a they came to Santa Barbara to show off an exhibit of what the demonstrate a
Like a refining process
a
or
small
something.
what it is almost like a vaporizer. So they take the trash or the plastics, and it's in a basket, and it's just like, vaping, where they heat it up enough to release the gas without burning it. And so it would go through a
It's
tube
distilled.
into water. Yeah, into water. And then what the from the gases, what comes up to the surface of the water is a layer of
Yeah.
oil. And they would strain that oil off, skim it off the top into another, into another vat, and that is what they were able to create oil
Yeah,
from.
and it's definitely a fuel. I've seen people do it in their backyards on Instagram or
Oh,
YouTube.
really?
Yeah, you can do it
Cool.
on a small scale. It's it takes a lot of energy. It's always an energy problem, right? It just takes a lot of energy to get. You can't get more out than you put in, unfortunately. Probably when I was looking into it, but it is it's definitely an interesting concept because we could get rid of a lot of the plastic garbage that. The other argument is that it does return to the earth at some point. It might take an incredibly long amount of time in our perspective. It could take 1,000 years for it to break back down, but the earth will reclaim it and it will just return into the resource that it came from. If we keep putting it in the ground and burying it, it's not obviously a short-term fancy solution, but unless there's going to be fossilized bags, then I'm not too worried about it being reconsumed and then consumed again by future generations.
Went to visit Google's headquarters in Mountain View back in 2014, or no, 2013, somewhere in there. And they were using a process of, basically they bought Shoreline Theater, and Shoreline Theater is built on is an old dump.
Yeah, a landfill.
And a landfill. They covered it up and they created a concert venue, an amphitheater style concert venue. It's great. So they siphon the methane from that, from the process of it breaking, all the trash breaking down underground, and they actually do get some of their energy from the methane, burning the methane from the landfill, and to power their headquarters.
Yeah, that's super cool. We have some large landfills around us here, and it's not what you think it is. It's a giant grass field, essentially, and there's a small portion of it that you can't really see from the road or anything like that, but I did spend some time working for a waste management company, and they take you out there and you can tell there's a part where they're working, but then they cover it up pretty immediately, so it can start breaking down and it's not exposed to the elements and smelling and stinking and rotting. And yeah, it essentially looks like a very well manicured giant field. And it is technically a landfill, but it could be repurposed. I think it's what I want to spend effort in and resources in is creating something with our waste, even if that is buildable land that you can build housing on, or solve a housing crisis with this land, or do something with it. But you using our waste to just create something beneficial is kind of I think that's the golden ticket to just maximizing what we can do.
Yeah, I mean, the only issue with housing and whatnot would be settlement issues that I could foresee. But again, people build in really shitty places like marshland and whatever. You would just end up having to do pylons, and it might be very costly, but it could be done to build on that piece of property as well. I mean, heck, I mean, they're building on it like burial grounds, ancient burial grounds. Why not? Why not a landfill? But I think less negative connotations from building on a dump.
But
But I would want it to not have to be like low income housing. You know what I mean? Like I want it to be like I just feel like they would give that land. I want them to give the land value rather than just like say, okay, we're gonna build like
I think lower middle class, attainable, purchasable homes.
Where do you live? I live at the landfill.
You can also build luxury homes there. I mean, there's here they're in the countryside. Like it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place that probably didn't require a lot of deforestation. It was just close to the highway probably, and they found attractive land, hundreds of acres that they could buy for a landfill. And now it's just an empty grass field next to the highway. So you could put anything there. It doesn't have to be low income. You can't really tell that it was a landfill.
It doesn't even have to be housing. Just make it a park. Make it, like you're saying, like make it an open space for people to get exercise and walk around. Just be able to like have that top layer of soil be thick enough to like grow trees and have them be healthy and not, have like the membrane barrier between the trash and the, what's up top, thick enough basically is the kicker. You don't want like kids to be digging in the sandbox and find like Wrigley's wrappers.
Yeah, I think it's also, while we could use the land, we could also be more responsible about what we're putting in there too. I mean, if it is something that breaks down and is toxic for the next 1,000 years, maybe let's do something else with that instead of burying it underground. Shoot it into space. I always like that idea of just fucking shooting stuff into space because it's empty.
We're already shooting trash satellites up into space. There's too many of them apparently.
Yeah.
Like they could do, unless you shoot it far enough into space. Like
it can't be in orbit.
Yeah, don't let it be in orbit. Yeah,
but it will fall and burn up. I don't think there's any trash that's making it through the atmosphere. But
that's a good idea. Just like make rockets that take it up just high enough that it comes back down and burns in the atmosphere.
Well, that's just burning trash essentially at that point. And we're probably
but it's higher above the ground.
That's true. It will be pulled by gravity into the earth, though, I think, right? Why not just shoot it into the sun?
I bet you Bill Gates is into it.
Just shoot our garbage into the sun.
It's too far.
Yeah, but you just have to get it going in the right direction.
Economically.
It just has to break.
Yeah, that's true. They always talk about like these solar sails.
Just fucking point it in the right direction and then fucking push it a little bit. If it gets there in 1,000,000 years, I don't give a shit. It'll eventually get destroyed by the sun.
I like that one. I mean, the other thing to do is push it down. So like there's this story that we have here. Somebody has a startup idea for at DJ Cows on Twitter. He has a startup idea to funnel ocean water to the upper mantle layer to create steam to spin turbines to generate electricity. This is exactly what we were talking about in like episode 2 or 3 about Antarctica. Yeah. And somebody actually did the 3D rendering of it.
I'd like to appreciate DJ Cows for listening and taking our idea and running with it.
It's a great startup idea. We could do that with trash.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's a very simple idea, right? Is to create steam, like geothermal energy. There's got to be some challenges
Yeah.
that I'm not thinking of because it seems too easy, right? I mean, you just cap a volcano at that point and just pump water into it.
That's a good one too. You could have it be what is it, like siphoned too, where like the pipe is basically like, as long as you get it started,
Yeah.
right? With the pipe up into the side of like over the lip of the
As long as the
volcano,
water source
and
is
you just
higher, you can run it lower
yeah,
and back up into the volcano.
yep.
Yeah.
We're not using volcanoes like to their best of their ability, like to the best
We're
of
not
our
using them at
ability. I feel
all.
like
We're just wasting these
I know
volcanoes.
they're right there on the surface too. You don't even have to go drill into the upper mantle at all.
Yeah.
Just throw.
And it's all water. All we have
Yeah,
is water. That's our one thing. That's what we're known for. If you talk to the aliens, they're like, "Oh, you mean the water people that are mostly water and their planet's covered in water?" Hey, we're not using the volcanoes and we're not using the water.
yeah. More desal, more steam turbines. Um, Speaking of steam turbines, uranium, prices are going parabolic. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I don't think they are.
It's yeah, dude. There's a parable in this.
Oh yes, it is definitely there's a parabolic in that sense for sure.
Man, there's a ton of stories. Somebody had that same guy, DJ Cows, was startup idea to like have plutonium or have a shower head that heats the water
That's a terrible
itself.
idea. I'm not having like highly radioactive material in my house, let alone heating the water that I'm showering my body with. That's crazy. And then I also noticed the first comment on that was like, wouldn't you always need to have it running, or the plutonium would just overheat and it would melt off the shower head and melt through the floor and radiate everything. He's just willy-nilly with his water. I think DJ Cows, I think what we can take away from his ideas is that he just thinks you throw water at any problem and it's solved, which I can't dispute because maybe that is the answer.
He's a firefighter.
Is he in bed with big water?
Big water, dude. Everybody knows it.
Dude, DJ Cows is shill for big water.
DJ Cows, reach out to us.
Yeah,
man.
clear your name.
We got ideas, man. Let's come up with a hit single. A new I mean, the fact that you're just naming yourself DJ Cows and you haven't released any music.
I think it's mostly music for cows. So it's a lot of moos and things. It's not very mainstream, so we probably just haven't heard it yet.
He's a farmer.
I think in the, if you're in the cow music scene, you probably know DJ Cows.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's true. Wisconsin.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of good stuff, a lot of interesting things. We're just really we're kind of waiting and seeing what the world does in the next week, and I think we'll find out shortly here what if and when any of the new scandalous news stories come out, and or potential new products arrive, how they may or may not benefit us.
100%. I like how this podcast has helped me kind of keep a finger on the pulse, because it's kind of just forced me to think about some of this stuff that I normally just let pass me by.
fills headlines like tide on the sand. A ghostly album drifts through an unseen hand. Fading mixtapes whisper from a car shadowed nook. Privacy dissolves in every corner we look. 50 grams behind bars of iron and smoke. While towers of gold laugh at the joke. Diamonds crumble like forgotten dreams. Fast food balloons in rising streams. Sing it low, sing it high. Let the vision expand. Coffee, gold, and hologram. Coffee, gold, and hologram. Sand brewed suns in a copper cup. Instant steam rises as the city wakes up. Landfill sprout like secret gardens in the night. Holographic ghosts flicker in neon light. 50 grams behind bars of iron and smoke. Cloaked hands smile while the markets choke. Gold climbs ladders, diamonds melt to sand. Fright fortune slip through a restless hand. Sing it soft, sing it bold. Watch the world unplanned. Coffee, gold, and hologram. Coffee, gold, and holograms. DJ cows pour oceans on the planet's pain. Turning droughts to rivers, sun to rain. Dire shadows stalking in diary frames. Ghosts of the past see tomorrow's gains. Hours of metal, wheels hum like veins. Prophets of discount whisper their refrains. Trade winds twist through tariffs and smoke.